are outside of Dutch Way restaurant in the town of Gaps in the southern part of Lancaster County. We just had our lovely lunch. We're going to tell you all about it. So welcome to this video about Dutch Way. As I mentioned, this is their Gap location located in southern Lancaster County. They also have 2 locations in Lebanon County, north of Lancaster County, in Schaefferstown and Myerstown, as well as their newest location in Ephrata, which has both a market and a cafe rather than a restaurant. Dutch Way began as a farmer's market back in 1972, eventually adding on a small diner-style restaurant, and now 3 of the locations have a full-size restaurant with their markets, with the exception of Ephrata, which has the small cafe. And before we go inside, I want to point out how beautiful their fall display was out here, the flowers, the pumpkins, but everything was super clean and organized, just even on the outside. And now we're at one of my favorite parts about this property, and it's this little cafe that they have in here where you can get all sorts of delicious food. Just walk up to the counter. They had a few seats there that you can get to go. They had a variety of platters. They had handball platter, meatloaf platter, chicken platter. They had roasted chicken. You could get 1 piece or multiple pieces, soups and sides, all great options here. So these are great prices for a quick bite to eat and delicious homemade Pennsylvania Dutch food. I think that's terrific. So I didn't spend really much time inside the grocery store. My friend and her daughter were getting some food and some supplies. I just was taking a look around, just showing you kind of the span of the store from one end to the other. Plenty big for your weekly and daily grocery needs. Before we head inside the restaurant, here are their hours, Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 8 p.m., and of course closed on Sundays. Okay, so here's a little gift shop right outside the restaurant. It had just a few gifts, cute little things for all sorts of friends and family in your life, and then right down those doors was that little cafe. Keep going through those doors and farther and you'll get into the grocery store. So that was kind of the entrance and the connecting area between the store and the restaurant. And here we are right inside the restaurant doors. It's a very nice waiting room with lots of comfortable chairs. I would say this is one of the nicest waiting rooms I've seen. I was really impressed with their furniture here. And I imagine that fireplace is quite cozy in the colder months of the year. So I think that's a really neat touch. So very nice little sitting area as you wait. Now the day we were here, there was absolutely no wait. We were there on a Thursday for lunch and no wait at all. Still, it was a very nice option if you had to wait. Here is a look at the menu. Just feel free to pause it if you want to look at it more closely, but they have a lot of options, a lot of great variety here, and very decent prices. So I was really impressed with their menu for sure. So as we look at the menu here, I do want to point out a couple interesting things. Here at the Gap location, they had Caesar salad as a appetizer, as well as wings and fried pickles. Those 3 things I did not see in the other menus. And then also for breakfast, they have a grilled blueberry muffin here, which is also not on the other menus. I think it's well priced for a big soup and salad and bread bar for $13.99 per adult. What I do like about the options here is that you can add the entire salad, soup, and bread bar as a add-on to your meal for $5.99. All right, so we're starting with the roll I got with my meal. Looked really good, smelled really good. It was a good roll, very fresh, and no complaints about the roll. I did get the handball platter, surprise, surprise. I like to always get the handballs to compare to other restaurants, as well as a side of mac and cheese and stewed tomatoes. My friends got the special, which was the mac and cheese burger on Texas toast, and they ordered curly fries with their meal. We'll get into their opinions soon. I just want to show you kind of the sauce. It was a very sweet and sticky and thick sauce. I think out of all the sauces I've had with handballs, this is probably the thickest and sweetest. So if you love a sweet sauce with your handballs, this would be a good place to go to get that. Maybe a little too sweet for my taste, even though I do love it sweet. Kind of like a lighter sweet sauce. Now the mac and cheese was decent. It was good mac and cheese. So of course, this is what I'm doing as a Pennsylvania Dutch girl. I grew up eating stewed tomatoes on top of my mac and cheese. Most people who are not from around here just cannot believe I'm doing this, or can't believe any of us do it, but it is one of my favorite meals in the world. So I like to also try mac and cheese and stewed tomatoes as a rule when I go to restaurants to compare them to each other. This was a good serving of mac and cheese and stewed tomatoes. It was not my favorite in the county, but I'd say it was a good 7 out of 10. The mac and cheese could have been a little creamier. It was a tad bit runny for my taste. And the stewed tomatoes were not quite as sweet as I like them, though I thought the texture of the stewed tomatoes was very good. It was thick, it wasn't runny, So my friend and her daughter split this special, the mac and cheese burger on Texas toast, and we'll get into their review later. But basically it was their homemade mac and cheese with a burger with bacon and then toasted on the Texas toast. And now you're seeing kind of a span of the restaurant from one corner. We're gonna walk around a little bit so you can see how big it is. It's actually quite a very big restaurant, and they have a lot of booths, which I love. I love a booth. They have a lot of those around, and some tables, ways to kind of put bigger parties together. On the side here is their soup, salad, and bread bar, as well as their dessert bar. So I'll just show you the different flavors of soup they have here: beef vegetable and chili. They had creamy broccoli, and as well as cheeseburger. That was a different one. The other ones are kind of typical that you'll find in Lancaster County. You don't always see cheeseburger soups. That was kind of fun. They do have lots of homemade breads here: vanilla, zucchini, walnut, blueberry, pound cake. So good looking bread. I did not get the soup and salad bar because I was not hungry for that, and I would not have had room for it. And then they also have desserts starting right here. So we had the sugar cookie bars. It looked pretty good, as well as the chocolate chip cookie bars. And no, I did not try dessert today. I was quite full, and we had other plans to eat more later, so maybe next time, but it did look good. I thought it looked great. I think the pies looked really good, and the other desserts, but I love their price. For the dessert bar, it's only $2 to add on to your soup and salad and bread bar, so that's a really good deal. Something else that's interesting about this location is that some of the meals and the salad bar is about $1 more expensive at this location versus like Schaefferstown. One thing I do want to tell you now is that I thought I had heard that they had a buffet, a regular buffet here. When I got there, I saw that they only had a soup and salad buffet. I asked about that, and she said they used to have a buffet, but since COVID came and changed things, they kind of shut that down, and they just had their soup and salad. I believe the Myerstown location is the only one that still has a buffet. I thought the salad bar looked really good and well presented. I always appreciate it when they make their salads and their vegetables in bite-sized pieces and easy to scoop onto your plate. That's just a weird thing that I appreciate, but I do like it when they make them very easy to kind of get in there and get this exact portion you want. So they had a really great selection, very fresh selection of fruits and vegetables, as well as salads. So I really thought that their salad bar looked really, really good. Definitely a nice looking buffet, very clean, very fresh, very organized. So I always appreciate that when they keep it clean. We're gonna walk around a little bit more so I can show you. They had a couple extra kind of bonus rooms or banquet rooms where you have a larger party. There's 2 of those back here, so they can fit a lot of people in here. This place really did remind me a lot of Yoder's up in the northern part of Lancaster County near Shady Maple. It had a very similar vibe to it, and I thought, I kept thinking about that when I was there that day. But as you can see, here's another look at the restaurant from this back angle. A lot of nice seating, a lot of booths, like I said, and I just thought it was a great restaurant, laid out really well. Okay, so now we're going to tell you about what we thought of our food. So I had the handballs, stewed tomatoes, mac and cheese. The handballs were pretty much perfectly done. The sauce was extremely sweet, probably the sweetest sauce I've ever had in Lancaster. So if you love sweet sauce, that's a good place for you to go. Mac and cheese, stewed tomatoes were just okay for me. I like mine a little sweeter and a little creamier.
It was called the cheesy bacon burger.
Okay.
I think that's what it's called.
Something like that.
Yep. And on Texas toast, macaroni and cheese with bacon and a burger. But we decided it would have been good with just the mac and cheese and the bacon. The rest is okay.
Yeah, so, like that was a good enough.
But curly fries. Those are good.
Oh yeah, and tell them how many different fries did she offer you guys? Do you remember?
5.
Yeah. That's also an unusual thing. I have not seen many places, so that was really cool.
You could get them all different ways: waffle, crinkle, all kinds of stuff, or sweet potato.
So we like this place. This is a good place. We're pretty happy.
Yeah.
I love when restaurants have rocking chairs on their porches or outside their restaurant. So this is another big perk for me to see these rocking chairs. So as you look down there towards the entrance of the parking lot, you will see the road that runs right along the market is Route 41, also called the Gap Newport Pike. It changes over to just being Newport Road in the town of Gap. If you follow that Newport Road, which is also Route 772, it will take you the whole way to the town of Intercourse. So you could just follow the back roads the whole way from Intercourse down to Gap and connect up to the Gap Newport Pike, and it will take you right to the Dutch Way restaurant. It was a very good lunch, a very wonderful experience. It's a very pleasant place. It wasn't crowded. It was very quiet, so just a nice relaxing meal. If I'm ever near Gap again, I would be happy to come back again. It was a delicious place and a great option if you're nearby. And like I said before, the cafe option is just terrific. You can get a delicious homemade Pennsylvania Dutch meal for less than $15. You can get it to go. Now I'm going to give you some very interesting history about Dutch Way. Dutch Way was founded by David Martin. The first Dutch Way market launched in Myerstown in 1972, followed by the one in Gap in 1983, another in Schaefferstown in 1991. And the company broadened its services with a hardware store near the Gap Market in 2012. The Ephrata location opened in spring of 2022. And fun fact, all the Dutch Way farm markets are open from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m., and all the restaurants are open Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. I'll have everything linked below in the description if you want more information about Dutch Way or you want some directions. Just click on those links in the description. And again, thanks for watching and enjoy your next adventure.